Fascism, Communism, Capitalism. What do these ideologies have in common? That's right, they're corrupt, ineffective, inherently broken political systems invented by the West. Today we play as the Japanese Shogunate, because here we know exactly how to deal with these Western propagandists and their attempts to influence our culture, destroy our honor, and pervert the very essence of Japan. Of course, we're also using laws plus. Can we modernize Japan without falling into Westernization? Or will our culture get nuked and mutated into something completely unrecognizable? Let's find out. And we are greeted with the Tarakoya system, which requires us to get a level 3 education system. That's new and exciting. I think it's been a while since I last played Japan. Still, we are ruled by our shogun, Ayanari Tokugawa. Obviously we must get rid of serfdom and traditionalism, and we will need a lot of research if we are to achieve a stable political system. For now, we should probably attempt to establish an education system of some sort. Well, there goes China, getting completely destroyed. Wait a minute, you think China will be better off if they embrace socialism? Congratulations, I know exactly what to do with you. Legislative failure, balls. Alright, that's fine, we're going to modernize the military instead. I also just noticed the Japanese people are obsessed with meat, which explains the very high price. Honestly, I didn't want to say anything, because that will make me a slave to the market. That's a very capitalist thing to do, and I don't want to end up in the pot. Instead, we're going to develop our agricultural sector, empowering the rural folk instead of these evil city dwellers. I mean, they always say random things like putting people in the pot is bad or something, which only proves that they deserve the pot the most. Great Britain demands investment rights. Well, that's certainly sooner than usual. I accept. This will open up our markets, and of course, with the opening of Japan, we can start importing meats. It is somewhat humiliating, but a well-trained army is all we need to earn back our honor. What's that? You think the market is in chaos right now? I feel like I'm gonna run out of viewers. At this rate, currently the shogunate is losing a lot of influence because of the whole opening Japan humiliation. We should definitely press the issue and take all their power away. We should also establish an education system. Alright, all we need to do now is get it up to level 3. Oh. Anyway, agrarianism. Nothing says screw the city folk quite like agrarianism. Am I right, guys? We also need a tax system which ignores the nobility. Speaking of money, ka-ching, we definitely need more construction. And we can also start selling our industries to private investors, because Great Britain no longer has investment rights. Finally, a proper tax system. And you are suggesting that we are in some sort of financial crisis. Haha. Remember, kids, do not eat the soup from the big pot. And it's time for us to strip the very last bits of influence from the shogunate. How dare they simply surrender to foreign invaders? Wait, what do you mean it was my fault? God bless censorship, but sometimes I feel like we need a bigger pot. Finally, railroads. We also have a massive navy, which means the only thing left for us to do is establish our very own power block. That's right, it's time for the Asian coal prosperity sphere. Listen, I understand that the rest of the world believes we are a bunch of douchebags who love the smell of their own farts, just because we're the only one in our faction. But they're wrong! Countries from all over the world are lining up to join us, such as Ecuador, who are very much willing to pay the membership fees. Willingly. Wait, are you suggesting that attacking China would be easier and more profitable? Remember, kids, the Japanese market is full of high quality, cheap meats. With the police reforms done, the only thing left for us now is to get rid of hereditary bureaucracy. And with our successful landing, we can now welcome Ecuador into the arsonist cancer patient system, led by our brand new shogun, Tamemoto Tokugawa. A child, my favorite. Which is something you would say. We cannot allow that, obviously. And of course, I feel a deep spiritual connection towards Peru-Bolivia, thanks to their plantation economy and conservative agenda. We just have to join forces. And of course, Ecuador will help us in showing off our military prowess, earning back our honor, and just like that, the agricultural conservative plantation sphere grows. finally appointed bureaucrats. And you probably noticed that our military conquests were quite expensive, so we're going to have to get laissez-faire if we are to repay our debts and avoid bankruptcy. What do you mean this is a compromise to capitalism? How dare you not see the wisdom of our actions? I'll be the first to say it, we must endure sacrifices at the beginning. We can't just declare wars willy-nilly. Oh my god, it's time for us to declare war on the Ottomans, so we can establish a foothold in Africa. I mean, the French also joined? Well, that was quick and easy. And finally we have the African colonial prince system, which makes our teenage shogun look really cool. The girls will definitely want to talk to him now, probably. Legislative failure. I told you we shouldn't have capitulated to the evil capitalists. You definitely pay for this blatant attempt at perverting Japan. You absolute pervert. Girls don't like to talk to perverts, they like to talk to shoguns who colonize Africa. It's common knowledge. They backed down. Alright, the absolutely cool peeps. And shogun grows. And our economy is finally looking up. Remember kids, interest rate is theft. What's this? You think we have a shortage of dynamite and bullets? Why would you say something like that? We definitely need an agency to supervise the pots, like a gendarmerie or something. And Britain is in a bit of a mess right now. I bet they won't even notice when I take Argentina and Chile, apparently. Okay, I know some of you have doubts about the correlation between colonizing Africa and girls wanting to talk to you. However, how many of you have colonized Africa? That's right, none of you. And how many of you have girlfriends? My point stands. And we are victorious, which means that the Argentina, Chile, peeps and shogun grows even more. Oh my god, the shogun has fallen. The samurai have also fallen, which means we are now a Tenno and we are ruled by our Tenno, Komei, Yamato. And I hope you realize what happened to the young shogun. And finally we can maintain domestic order of pots. Also, continue our colonization of the north. Which way the wind blows, obviously we have to leave Asia behind and look towards the Western powers, so we can kick them in the balls at our earliest convenience. And we have to end the Sengoku period by opening the border a little bit. Also, Queen Victoria still stands strong in the Falkland Islands. Don't you dare tell Argentina about it. And just like that, she's back. Women! Am I right, guys? And now people with normal-sized penises can enter our country. Remember kids, do not lie when you enter Japan. It is also time for us to ramp up our industrial modernization. And now we're going to adapt state Shinto. That's right, you shall convert to the official Japanese religion, or else. You've heard of jihad? Now get ready for shit, not the pot. We're also expanding in Africa because I want girls to start talking to me, and that's the only way to do it. I know it sounds weird that they wanna watch your absolutely colossal penis slap women. Am I right, guys? Alright, it's time for us to encourage Japanese modernization without Westernization. Finally, we can suppress everyone by nationalizing all industries without paying them anything. And of course, we can sell them back to private investors, so we can nationalize them for free until everyone in the country runs out of money, except for the state. Now that's the modernization I'm talking about. Also, I want to clarify, I'm not against people who are not Japanese, as long as they look Japanese enough. Oh no, I have to help Peru, Bolivia, and reduce Chile's autonomy, because they're being douchebags. I'm not sure what the plan was, we are in the same faction, but Red Chile is definitely an upgrade. No wait, I know what the problem is. They need a bunch of Japanese people to exploit them and extract all of their valuables. And if they don't have valuables, they'll produce meat for us, so we can stop importing it from Russia. What? Did you thought we simply ate the people in the pot? Gross! How dare you suggest something like that? Oh crap, the British are attacking Tigray. We definitely have to help. And also conquer Somaliland. Wait a minute, my offer got rejected. That's not good. Alright, we managed to pay off our debts, which means we can finally reach peak Japan by enacting no taxation, creating a robust economic system. Unfortunately, Tigray won't get to see it. And with the establishment of British Abyssinia, the accidentally climaxing penises shrinks. The radical movement is rebelling. 1.2 million people. We shall definitely need more pots. On the bright side, we finally managed to pay off our debt and accumulate gold reserves for what's about to come. Reforms at gunpoint? These stinking peasants are attempting to change the political system by force. Gentlemen, you have my respect. And universal suffrage, where every man gets to vote. And we also have a semi-constitutional ballot system. Finally, almost fair elections for men. The Japan Farmer Party managed to win. Alright boys, everyone in the government. But first we must check if you have a penis. It's mandatory. Remember kids, all taxation is theft and the government shall be self-sufficient instead of leeching off the people. We shall no longer pay these stinking bureaucrats. Once we free our authority from robbing the people, we can focus on more manufacturing and production and let the great nationalization begin. Now I know what you're thinking. We nationalized everything and yet our budget is still minus 70,000. Where did all the government dividends go? That's a great question. I have no idea. Even though this textile mill makes 5.9k a week, not a penny is going to the budget and I have no idea who is receiving them. That's kind of awkward. Our only income is diplomatic pacts and mining. So we're going to help Brazil and get more diplomatic pacts. And of course we're going to sell all of our industries to private investors. That's one way to generate revenue. What do you mean that's practically theft? Remember kids, always remove negative people from your life. I mean, look at those money coming in. You just can't argue with results. Still, we are collecting tariffs, so we're going to enact protectionism. And with Brazil's help, destroying New Granada is nothing but a formality. And now with those sweet tariffs, nothing can stop our economic growth. And New Granada capitulated. Not much is left out of them, but still, the alternative capitalist Ponzi scheme grows. Alright, we're going to have a consumption-based taxation. Well, that was quick and easy, and there you go, government dividends. Again, that's not a lot of money. Alright then, what if I put all of the consumption taxes? We're almost there. I just need to sell all of our industries one more time. Unfortunately, our private investment pool has completely dried up, so I made arrangements with France. Hopefully their evil capitalist pig dogs buy everything so I can renationalize them. And if that's not a great economic plan, then I have no idea how a great economic plan looks like. And the farmers won the elections again. Alright stinking city dwellers, get out of my government. Your economics suck. This calls for an education reform. Everyone knows that attacking China is easier and more profitable unless the Russians and the Spanish help them. Whose idea was this? Outrageous. Well, there goes the Russian meat, so I guess we're going to buy the French one instead. It's alright guys, remember, I will throw as many Japanese people at the Chinese coastline as necessary, and the Russians and Spanish have no chance to land because they suck. Write that down in the history books. A white piece, hilarious. Keep in mind, the Americans and the British are also invading China. This whole conflict is gonna be a walk in the park without any money, apparently. What do you mean my economic shenanigans is incompatible with the massive military spending? Fool, I'm playing 4D chess, which doesn't require money, unlike women. Haha, it's all Japan, baby. No one can possibly stop us. We just have to land in Korea, and we're no longer bankrupt because my economic strategy works. There you go guys, we are victorious. Now which one of you was doubting me? It is also time to nationalize everything in Beijing. Probably multitude of times. Brazil's in trouble? We definitely have to help them. This will also allow us to sign an alliance. Are we Japan or what? And Queen Victoria is occupying China, probably for money. Women. Am I right guys? Speaking of money, our government is almost profitable. We just need to invite the remaining city folk in the government so we can pass proportional taxation. It's just a smidge of revenue we need to fix the budget. Promise. Brazil is safe. But I noticed that we're not actually collecting any taxes. That's not good. And also explains the inevitable bankruptcy. And the farmers secure another victory. Oh no, the reactionary movement is rebelling. Finally, the tax reforms we needed. It might be a little bit too late. And I also need a little bit of bureaucracy if we are to effectively collect any taxes. I'm sorry guys. I really wish that I can simply sell all of our industries again. I mean, I will. Unfortunately, that will take too much time, so we're gonna have to declare bankruptcy. Oh my pot! Positive income! It actually does exist, and you are doubting in my economic genius. Unacceptable. Listen, I know we fired everyone in the government, but once we rehire them, the economy will skyrocket. I'm also going to overreach with my authority for a little bit. Oh no, the farmers are angry, which means we have to enact public health insurance. And it worked! 75% of the people don't wanna murder me. What can I say, guys? I'm a man of the people. We just have to hold out until our bankruptcy penalties are gone. And Queen Victoria managed to destroy her entire country again. Women! Am I right, guys? Oh no, she doesn't own the Falkland Islands. Yeah, I wasn't expecting anything else. And the farmers managed to secure even more votes. Oh no, the stinking city folk are rebelling. Luckily for us, Brazil will help us. And we managed to discover the source of the Nile, which will give us enough prestige so we don't lose our faction in this time of turmoil and insecurity. I mean, we also have to fight the Russians, but... What? Stupid city folk, they sold out our island. They definitely deserved a pot for this. We are going to leverage our massive naval supremacy to land from behind, so that's not gonna be too hard. Finally, public healthcare. Now, the fact that the rural folk have all the political power means every law has 1% chance to pass. However, I feel like we need to take this opportunity for a meaningful change in our society. Trench infantry, alright. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Is our low economic progress due to the fact that I'm not researching steel construction or electricity? Fool! Military expansionism provides a far faster economic growth, and the Japanese traders have been vanquished. We just have to defend from the stupid Russians, and we win! Wait a minute, Beijing is now core. Is that good for us? I don't know, but I can't uncore them, so... Hey, wait a minute, why am I capitulating? I have all the war goals. Who's in charge of calculating the war score? Unacceptable. Oh no, a secondary revolution. I guess we have to keep the monarchy. Am I a man of the people or what? Okay, so the war isn't necessarily going to Japan's advantage, so we will have to take back our island once our truce expires. In the meantime, we shall attempt to enact a secret ballot system. I mean, the farmers are clearly unstoppable, but that's a lot of percent. The reactionary movement is back, but it's not enough to stop our political reforms. Things are finally looking up. Crap. And just look at that list of demands. I'll give it to you, Britain, you've got balls. We also have to avoid a second civil war, so we're gonna have to enact rigged elections. Am I a man of the people or what? I mean, the huge international coalition of Kick Britain's ass might help me, but I don't wanna risk it. And of course, we only have 14 months of bankruptcy penalty left. And once we upgrade our navy, oh come on France, defend your coastline. I mean, Britain is also not defending their coastline? Amazing. This is such a great opportunity for me to say something like women. Am I right, guys? Unfortunately, just like in real life, women are not involved. I just don't have the money. Alright, we got London before they get to Paris. We're defending Tokyo with ease. British Guyana is occupied soon. British Abyssinia will be under our control. The only thing left for us now is to invade the Mosquito Kingdom. And Brazil's got it covered. Come on, Brazil, I believe in you. Granted, the economy is in a bit of turmoil, so nothing changed. And I guess you can say I shouldn't have put my faith in Brazil. It's time for you to go. They did their very best, I'll have you know. Finally, we managed to restore our honor. They forced us to open our markets. That's why we took the home counties. We also managed to avenge Tigray, who refused my help for some reason. Of course, with this undisputed victory, we no longer need to compromise our electoral system. Man of the people, everybody. And of course, our economy never looked better. We just have to sell all the industries in England. And this massive interest rate won't mean anything. Probably. I mean, this failed to earn our recognition, which is normal because the Russians are occupying core Japanese territory. Unacceptable. And the farmers managed to win. See that, guys? You don't need to rig elections if your political enemies don't exist. Countries who rig elections should really take note. And the Russians have no chance to win win against Japan and Brazil. Together combined, we're going to execute a surprise naval invasion from behind. And just wait. Crap! The farmers are rebelling. I'm sorry guys, I have no choice. We have to enact rigged elections. What can I say guys? I'm a man of the people. Okay, the farmers are rebelling again. That's not good. The Russians surrendered because they're a bunch of losers. And even more good news, the English are now rebelling. Exactly what we needed. A common enemy to rally the people of Japan. And I know exactly what to do to earn the farmers' loyalty. That's right, no taxation. Obviously. And we also have government dividends this time. I'm not sure what happened the first time around, but this does mean that we managed to achieve peak Japan without bending to evil Western ideologies. And of course, the Asian co-prosperity sphere managed to Asian co-prosperity everywhere. Remember guys, the pride of your nation isn't about military conquests, economic prosperity, or standard of living. These measurements are far too arbitrary and subject to speculation. If you wish to be an honorable samurai nation, your lower strata must achieve 69% of disposable income. All other measurements are merely Western propaganda. Promise. Until next time.